Let's be honest, we love being outdoors, we love cycling off-grid, but sometimes, or most of the time, we also want to use our electronic devices, or at least I do want to use my electronic devices. So how do I keep my devices charged? What kind of charger is best? How many batteries do I have with me, and how many days can I go without any access to electricity? Power bank, solar panel, hub dynamo, and fast charging cables and plugs. We'll cover all this and even more in just a couple of seconds. Exploring, cycling, adventuring, navigating through unknown roads while having my phone safe and sound like it's glued to my handlebar. No matter what, I can access it within a second for taking pictures, phone calls, or whatever. The Quadlock mount has been my phone holder for the last 2 years, and I'm happy to announce that this video is sponsored by Quadlock. I'm using my Quadlock Outfront Pro mount, which is made for the handlebar, and once you attach your phone to your bike, it literally stays where you put it until you decide to take it off again. Putting the phone on the mount is super easy. It's basically done with a push and a twist. And of course, taking the phone off the mount should be as easy as putting it on. You push that little handle, et voila, ready for shooting. Quadlock does have more handy accessories, a selfie stick, a wallet, and you can find more of their products in their webshop. Visit the Quadlock website, and by using the code Cheerio10, you'll get a 10% discount on their products. And now, let's go. Hi, I'm Lara, aka Giant Cheerio, and for the past 3 years my bicycle has been my home. During that time I pitched my tent most of the time in nature, like very far away from any power sockets. But as electricity and charging electronic devices is such a major thing these days, especially as a heavy electronic device user, such as I am, like for my phone, my camera, the GoPro, and whatever. So here's my most important power source I rely on: power banks. I am using 3 power banks. This is the biggest one with 24,000 milliampere hours. For me, that's also the most important backup power bank, because with that one I can also charge my MacBook, I can charge my phone several times, and yeah, it's quite bulky, but I need these 24,000 milliampere hours. And then I have these 2 power banks. Both of them are 10,000 milliampere hours power banks, so in total I have 44,000 milliampere hours with me. With that amount of power banks, I could charge my phone up to 10 times, and if I was only using my phone, that would give me 10 days of being on my own, off-grid, without any electricity. But honestly, for me, that's not enough, not at all, as I also have my camera and GoPro and GPS computer and whatever with me. I need a bit more electricity, especially when it comes to long distance cycling and spending a couple of days or sometimes a week off-grid without any power sockets. But before jumping to my other devices and other charging stuff, I want to talk about some important things when it comes to power banks. I made a major mistake that I'm going to show you. I would recommend that you double check your input and output ports. In the end, it's super annoying when you have 2 or 3 power banks and you have to carry a USB-C cable, a regular USB cable, a micro USB cable, and because then in the end you end up having heaps of cables, heaps of adapters, and this is just bullshit. You might not need as many power banks as I have, but just a short reminder, this is really what I need for a long-term trip, and sometimes it was the case that I wasn't able to plug in my power plug, and I really had to rely on my power banks for quite some time, days or even a week sometimes, and I just prefer having a backup power bank or several backup power banks. But yeah, enough talking about power banks. I'd say we will just jump right towards the more interesting stuff. Let's talk about my solar panel. This is my solar panel. I use this solar panel when I stay at a place for quite some time. For example, I use it in the morning because from the time I wake up to the time when I finally hit the road, it takes like around about, I don't know, 2 hours, like having my coffee. During that time, I use my solar panel for these couple of hours and my power banks get charged. This solar panel is a 28 watt solar panel, and honestly I tried solar panels with less wattage, but for me they were kind of like and yeah, I just noticed like for myself and for my needs I definitely need at least 28 watt. This solar panel is a big blue solar panel, 28 watt, but there are also solar panels from other brands, and they have even more wattage, which leads to better and faster charging. I also have to admit that I had to exchange this panel once, because after 1 year it kind of like died and I couldn't use it anymore. Then I bought a second one, and right now after another year, or after 1.5 years, I start noticing that I might have to exchange it once more. Smart people once told me that you shouldn't charge your electronic devices like your phone or GPS computer with a solar panel because of the changing power from the solar panel. So it's better to charge your power bank first and then charge your phone. Many people were asking if it's also possible to just put the solar charger on their front rack or rear rack. And I gotta say, yes, it's possible, and I also tried it, but I stopped because, to be honest, when you have this solar charger on your rear rack, the angle towards the sun is always like a different one, so you don't always cycle like in the perfect angle to the sun. And so yeah, the power outcome is not the best. I decided for myself that I will just set it up whenever I take a break, and then I can also like check the angle, check the amps, and yeah, then I'm on the safe side. One more thing I'd like to mention is that I think that this solar panel might be a bit bulky for a proper bikepacking setup. It is quite heavy, it's quite big. That's why I wouldn't recommend this kind of thing for a proper super light bikepacking setup. I would really recommend taking this on a long-term trip when you plan to stay outside for several days, for a longer period of time. But when you plan to sleep on campsites, hostels, or hotels each and every night, then this is not the right thing for you. Also, when you're a super fast cyclist, constantly on the go, like you wake up in the morning, you shovel in your breakfast, and you cycle the entire day, then this is also not the right thing for you because, as I said, you need to spend some hours underneath the sun to get something charged. So when you're in a rush or cycling all of the time, then this also isn't the right power source for you. Let's talk about the power source that almost each and every bike traveler is dreaming of or thinking about: a hub dynamo. I was using a hub dynamo, but to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan. First of all, you have to cycle at a certain speed to charge your devices. Like, I think you have to cycle faster than, I don't know, maybe 15 kilometers an hour, and then you have to keep that speed for hours and hours and hours. I'm not always speeding like a maniac, so yeah, the hub dynamo wasn't the right choice for me. I mean, sometimes it was quite nice, like when you were on a very straight road for many kilometers and many hours, but yeah, when it's hilly and you have all your luggage and your heavy bicycle and everything, then you can't keep it up. Like, you can't cycle uphill with an average speed of 15 kilometers an hour. It's just not possible with that heavy loading. So yeah, for me, it wasn't the right choice. Even though sometimes I was cycling like a maniac and I was speeding and I was very fast, I promise, I was very fast for several hours, but still the power outcome wasn't what I expected. So regarding the fact that I have Dynamo plus these charging devices and blah 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 blah, it is very expensive, and from my point of view, I'd recommend spend the money that you actually wanted to spend on a hub Dynamo, just spend that money on a proper power bank, on a fast charging, fancy, I don't know what, pretty good power bank. And also I have to say that I'm not using the hub Dynamo anymore, because yeah, as I said, it's not for me, and I prefer using other power sources. Then let's talk about some charging tips. Of course, when all your power banks and batteries are empty and it's a cloudy day, so your solar panel doesn't work, you have to stop somewhere and charge your stuff. The easiest way to do so is book yourself a hostel or hotel room or a campsite. Then yeah, you can charge your stuff, plus you can shower, you can wash your clothes, and everything's fine. But if you're like me and you prefer sleeping outside most of the time, then you can also just stop in a cafe for a couple of hours, ask the waiter if it's possible to charge your power banks in the cafe, and then you just sit there, enjoy a cup of coffee or 2 or 3 while you wait for your devices to be ready to go. What I also did was I was asking at gas stations if it was possible to charge my devices there for an hour or 2, and then I just sat in front of the gas station, had my lunch break, scrolled through Instagram, called my mom or whatever, and after 1 or 2 hours my power banks were mostly full and I was ready to go. Some of you might be a little irritated, like, what, 1 or 2 hours? Yeah, it is possible. You just need fast charging equipment. That is what I learned the hard way. During my first year of bikepacking, I learned that it's very handy to have one of those fast charging plugs, as well as fast charging cables. Oh, and I forgot one thing. I didn't say anything about my spare batteries for my camera and my GoPro. I carry these 2 spare batteries for my Sony camera. So in total I have 3. And I have 5 GoPro batteries, 1 inside the GoPro and 4 spare batteries. That's it. These are all my power sources, all my chargers, batteries, everything. If you have any questions regarding this stuff here or any topic suggestions, then just let me know in the comment section down below. If you like this video, I'm always grateful for a thumbs up and a channel subscription. See you next time. Cheerio, goodbye, salut, and adios.